Pretty interesting face. Let's see if I can see more shapes around this area. It's hard to see it, but you can kind of see. There is definitely like a breakup over here. Since we're going to do beer there as well, so I don't want to do too much. Just kind of break up the shape. Smooth it out. That's right over here. Break it down a little bit more. We already have the shape there. See this over here, but that's when he's smiling. So just a little bit. Okay. Looks like we have a little bit here, the shape as well, like this kind of shape. But don't want it too much. Alright, so let's take a look of the secondary shape that we did. Go to highest subdivision. See our secondary shape. You can see how much that we add on the top of it. And the more that we add, the more feeling that you can get from this character. The secondary shape, the eyes adjustment, asymmetry, and base shape from the beginning. Interesting. Okay, so we've gone pretty far. Let's just continue with the next step. Starting with the year. Basically detail the shape of the year. So before we get to the ear sculpting, I was kind of looking far away and feel the character. And I feel his sculpt shape, it's a little bit weird. So I'm just gonna do some really quick change before we get into the ear sculpting. So sometimes, you know, especially for likeness study, take some break, you know, because after you come back to the break, you have like a better fresh eyes. You can kind of rethinking and seeing the whole character from a distance. That might give you some feelings or some stuff that you want to change. In this case, I was mainly looking at this reference and also the front feeling, because you can see the front feeling, it's almost like a triangle. So I'm trying to do something like this. And please pay attention that whenever I do this kind of change, the shape change, like the big shape change, I will always go to subdivision level 1 to do it. Here, okay. That should do it. Just looking at the distance and see if there's any other shapes that I want to change. Okay. So I'm looking at the shapes here, here. For this kind of shape, because this is a little bit too low, so I can go to at least around like level 2 or 3 to get the feeling. But I want a feeling like similar to that. So like that, you can see like the highlight over there. I guess for this one, you can use symmetry to do that because it's already break the symmetry. So you got that angle. And here. You got this angle. Okay. And now we can start. What's the year? Alright, so for the year, you get starting from level 2 or level 3 because If I go to level 1, it is too low for me to really do anything there. I already put the basic shape there, but in order to get more shape into it, you kind of require higher subdivision level. So I would just go to level 3. Just at the same that we are sculpting a secondary shape, and let's find a good reference with a good year. Let's see. This one is pretty good, I think. It's pretty low res. See if I can find a higher res. How about this? Nope. Let's see. This is pretty good. So here, I usually sculpt 2 times. Just because 2 different year, you got 2 different years, right? Your left ear is not just like your right ear, so first let's get the shape correct. And start to do some sculpting. No, let's do this first. See there. There's a shape here. There's a shape there. And this is really getting in. So for this, there's few ways you can do it, but for this, you need to be very careful because sometimes, especially you want to add the thickness, sometimes the standard brush won't do it. You will change the shape too much, but if you use inflate, which the talk is B-I-N, inflate, you can kind of see it would just get thicker. Kind of preserve the detail that you had before. So, especially for the year, I usually use this. So let's continue to do the shape. The shape right here. That's the shape right there. for this, you got a shape going down over here. Like that. Okay. And see the indentation, the shape right over here. Use the inflate to get this shape more. This hole should be really deep. So that's the basic sculpting of the year. But that's basically how normal people do it. But what I want to teach you guys is this is not enough. Not for likeness. There's still a lot of shape that you can do that people usually just ignore. So let's go for it. See, I'm trying to put like a little bit flat feeling over here, and I want this to feel tucked in. So this should be look like this instead. Smooth out a little bit. Until over here. Now I want to use some move brush to get a feeling of the ear. So this should be going here a little bit. This would definitely go down more. Here is more thicker. Right over here, got a shape here, going up, smooth it. Got the shape here. Got another shape here. and here. Just realized I saw a big shape from here all the way to here, and I saw a plant over here. I know you guys see it right here. And plant right here. That's the part that usually people ignore or didn't get it right. Better, and the shape here. So now the base shape is there. Still want to get a little bit rounded feeling like that. Okay, so the base shape is there. For detailing this ear, I want to get to higher level, just because this level I still can see all this polygon, and I want more resolution in order to do more shapes and detailed shapes there. So, alright, so we are at, I think, the highest level now. So there's a reason that when I'm sculpting this, I keep looking at the back, because sometimes if you not too careful, this will happen. Basically penetrating to the other side without you notice. So when I sculpt this, I try my best to sculpt carefully. Let's see. Okay. There is the shape that we wanted. And you can see this part from here to here, right? There's a shape there, so when I'm moving, I like go down to certain level lower to move. It gives me a better control. So you can see this is more thick, and go to thin, and then thick again. Thick. Thin. This should be thinner. And thicker again. Okay, let's go back to higher subdivision level. Alright. So this is the shape that we're looking for, but I saw this kind of wobble feeling, so I'm just going to fix the shape. There. A clean shape from here to there. Okay. And the shape over here, you kind of see this break over here. So I want this to be a little bit deeper. And you can still see the shape goes from here to there. Looks better, but I don't see this line being too obvious, so I'm just going to smooth it out. Also, I think this is going down more. You can see this line going from there, go all the way to here. This is just what I'm reading from the side view. Okay, I haven't do the references from the front view. So you can see I saw another shape over here, right? This kind of shape right here, going down there, just going to the lower subdivisional level to smooth it out. Another shape right over here. Smooth it out. I think this might be a little bit too much, but I will wait until I find a reference from the front. Now, let's match the shape. You see this shape right over here? It's close. Okay. And I think this a little bit thicker over here. Getting as deep as you can, that's fine. Move here a little bit. Alright, so I'm adding a little bit more thickness over here. You can see the volume over here. Okay. So that's basically how I sculpt the ear. I see this is deeper than I thought. And I think I'll get a more form over here. Alright. So that's 1 year. We have another year to go. Let me save it first, then we can continue. So let's continue. So I was comparing some references from the other side, and I think it's better to basically just move it in a little bit so it's not that obvious. Yeah, so if you see from the front view, it's not sticking out like too much, so it's fine. There's, that's not good enough. I need a ear from the other side. There. It should be good. This one. Okay. Some shape is a little bit hard to tell because the scatter, like there's some scatter in the back. Let me see if I can find a better one with this right ear. Let's see, right ear. I guess that one was fine. Fine, I would just need to use different references. Okay, let's do it. You can see how different the shape is. Compare with his left ear right here. All right. So again, let's starting with making the shapes. Again, watch out the back of it. Pay attention to the shape over here. So going there, making the shape. There. Okay. Now inflate. Going back and really get the thickness. Move tool. As you can see, there was a little bit problem in the back. So I just go back and smooth it out. That's why I say you have to be very careful. So the reason that I do this because I see this shape over here. In order to do this shape correctly, you need to feel like this is tucked under there. It's just kind of like a corner turn. There. Give it a little bit of thickness. Flatten. Over here. Give it a bit more shape. button over here. Okay. See this big shape from there to here. Okay. It's going deep from out here. Okay. And here, I want to have a break from here all the way to here. And here, going in, so you got this feeling there. I see, like the shape here. It's kind of triangle feeling. the shape over here. There. Now, let's use move brush. See if I add a year reference that I can look at. Okay. Alright. So the thickness. We would do a final shape check of the ear, mouth, nose, eyes, and everything before or after we do the point detail. So right now, if the feeling is there, then we're fine. So you got this kind of wrinkle. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Now let's move on to the eyes or nose. Let me save it, then we can continue. So let's move on to the eyes. The eyes is basically the most important features on the human face. So we're gonna spend some time on it, and we gotta make sure this we're doing this right. So just in case of anything, I want to separate this into another layer. Let's say eyes, detail, shapes. Okay. Then for this, I'll go into pretty detail. So I think we might need to use maybe subdivision level 4 or 5 to get this, but right now let's just go back to 3. It's 3. And let's study the shape and let's get the shape right. Okay, so I would say the most shape of the eyes that I'm looking at is all right here. This, 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 and this, and that. So look how deep that is. And it's not only deep. In there, there's a shape as well. So let's just zoom in this one. And let's see what we can do from here. Alright. To move the shape, let's still go to subdivision 1 to do it. Like how deep that is fine. But I want this to be have like a double eyelid on the top of it. So I'm gonna get here from here all the way to here. This will be until here, and you're gonna have these feelings over here coming down from inside. Something like that. So I'm gonna sculpt him really close. So this basically gives it information like how deep and how tight this is. I'm also gonna move this to like over here. Basically kind of fill this two out, because you can see it doesn't have like a huge gap. move this down, and I'm gonna give it go to a little bit more higher subdivision so you can get this kind of feeling. And one more from here all the way to here. And that's fine. So I want to move the whole thing closer. Okay. Let's see here. This is without like the frowning expression that I want. So imagine if this is going down, this should be, our backbone should be a little bit lower. Let's see. Should be able to see something like that. This basically separated the eyelid to the eyebrow bones. Just gonna move this down so it has more like the eyelid feeling. I'm guessing this picture is taken when he's a little bit older. When he gets older, your eyelid kind of dropping more and more. feeling should be better than before. If you want to get that, just pull a little bit higher. Yep. That should do it. I still think this doesn't feel, especially the eyelid. I want to make a little bit fuller. How deep that is. And about the eyes, I want to have a little bit, just a little bit, flat surface. Smooth it out. Something like this. Smooth it out. Now, I think here's a little bit too much. So I want this to be a little bit more just, I want to have this kind of feeling in there. Like it has a eyelid that looks like this. Again, when I want to move, go to the lower subdivision level for moving. Okay. Basically right now I'm just trying to clean this up. as you can see, the feelings of his top eyelid. Okay. It's pretty clean. And you can kind of see this is going way in and wrapping around the eyes, the feeling. I'm just gonna drop this down a little bit more to give it like the shape. Okay. For the eyes, I'm moving this a little bit so you can have like a shape. Okay. It's good enough. I still think this can be weighed out more. Give you kind of the wrong roundness. Okay, that's good. Okay, so for the eyes feeling, I'm more looking at something like that. So let's see. So I was cleaning up the top eyelid. It's very important to do it as clean as possible. Here's the bottom one. Suppose the top and bottom eyelid, the thickness will have a little bit edge. Okay. So as you can see, from different angle, different expression, the shape is definitely different. So look here, it doesn't really have a lot of eye back here because it's looking up. And look at here, because it's his smile, so the skin basically pushed this in. You got a lot of eye back here. So I need to find for my reference. So it's kind of, it's still there, but it's not too big. And that's the feeling that I'm going for. I realized that it's from around like here. Go in. Like that. Okay. That's one eye. And just go in and refine this a little bit better. Okay. Let's find references for another ice. It's all here. Sorry. Let's starting with this kind of feeling. Okay. Let's worry about the eye shape later. First, I want the same feeling over here. So we'll lower it down. Same kind of feeling I get from here. It's going in there. Make sure the feeling is tucked in. Make sure this is thick enough. Okay. Here, we just need to clean. Okay. For the eyes, this side, so I want to have the same feeling, right? I'm gonna cut down here. Don't want this sharp feeling around here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to straight smooth this up. Just here. Yep. And then I go in. clean up the shape. Adding more kind of the feelings I want. I should have something like that going in. Smooth this out. If you want, you can do this to kind of indicate the line. You're not going to use the inside of the eyes anyway. So, by the way, I want to let you guys know I'm doing this cleanup just for my personal project, okay? If it's something that I have to do it at work, this process will be done in Max or Maya because at work we have basically our base mesh, we have a certain edge loop that we need to follow of the exactly same line of the inside of top eyelid and outside of top eyelid, so as bottom line. So, but this is just my sculpting project, so I can basically just fix it however I want it. So I'll get this in. Get this in here. Also, I want to give it like a shape inside. I want this move to the front more. Let's see. So this is higher. I'll give you a shape like trying to fix this kind of wobbleness. Give it an edge. It doesn't have to be sharp or anything. Basically, it had to be like around, like round shape. Okay. Let's see, this is not that flat, so I'm gonna fix this. Okay. Should do it. Now, continue. The feeling of the bottom eyelid, the eye back. Good. So you can see, you can definitely see some lines there. Let's see if I similar to that. See if I can pull this up. So for this, I want to pull this up without touching this. So basically what you can do is there. You basically hold Alt and Shift. Go to move, hold Alt and Shift, and just kind of drag it from here. And you will basically give you this kind of result. And since you only want to move here and you don't want to touch that, and just basically reverse, and then you get to just move this part separately. Let's do that again. This is useful because you can basically go ahead and kind of clean this up in there, which is, you probably won't ever see it, but you know, it's better to have it clean. So what I want is this part to go in more, just like that. Okay. Now you can see it in there. You can even just move this in more. Okay. Now this part. You just basically need to have a very clean edge, but not too sharp. You can see right here, got a little corner. this should be the eyes area. So before we get into mouth, so when I take a break and I come back and look around, and the shape, the facial shape that I want to try, I want to make this kind of triangle shape a little bit more obvious. Especially like consider how big his forehead is. So by the way, let's see the result. And I see a little bit imperfection over here. I'm gonna fix it. This is the eyes detail part. So we can see before the eyes, after the eyes. Before, after. Alright. So for the eyes, go to level 3, and basically I'm just going in and smooth this out. Okay, that should be better. The other thing is I want to kind of fix this shape right here. Same as here. Okay. And I want to move this up just a tiny bit. Okay. Now, the eyes shape I think is fixed. Let's move on to the head shape that I was saying. So basically, as the eyes change, Then head shape change. I basically just make another layer and said head shape change. I go to